It's Home Alone, it's Die Hard, it's Batman. On this Christmas episode of Moving Panels, we discuss Merry Little Batman. Happy holidays and welcome to Moving Panels, the podcast where we discuss movies and TV shows based on, inspired by, and adapted from the world of comic books. I'm your host, Laramie Wells, and joining me today in the co-host chair, all he wants for Christmas is his intimidation game to come in. It's the dapper Southern gent, Blake Fowler.
If I had any less of a manly beard, I would look like Damien more than Batman. Okay, this is 6 weeks worth of growth here, Laramie, and this is all I got. All right, not much intimidation happening. What I need is a utility belt. That would help me.
That growth is about what I get when the afternoon after I have shaved.
That must be nice. I'm like trying to up any type of intimidation game. It's not happening for the holidays.
I did love that little bit.
Yeah, that was good.
All right, so here we are. We are talking Merry Little Batman, which was released on Prime Video December 8th, just a little over a week ago as this episode is airing. It was meant for HBO Max. I honestly thought it was on HBO Max. I went looking for it.
Oh, God, okay.
I went to go watch it.
This has been sent over to Prime, and the other new Batman show, if it hasn't been canceled, has been sent to Prime. The animated show from Bruce Timm.
Yeah, the Caped Crusader.
Caped Crusader, has also been sent to Prime. So
I found out that this was one of like 6 properties that DC or HBO Max from DC had gotten rid of.
Well, spoiler alert, also a little off topic. I read today that Tubi and DC have reached an agreement that all DC movies will be sent to Tubi, including new movies like The Batman.
Huh. I don't know how I feel about that.
I'm not really sure what's going on. It's not good when Tubi is taking your movies, I don't think. If you're looking for Tubi to hand out some cash to you.
Because didn't somebody just make a deal with... Didn't some of it make a deal with Netflix? And so they've got some stuff coming to...
Yeah, like the Batman's already on Netflix. Yeah.
Yeah.
David Zaslav, or whatever his name is, I guess, looking for cash in any shape, form, or fashion.
I guess they're just trying to find out where the next home of DC...
Who will watch our
entertainment
movies?
Will be. Yeah. Where can we put this that people will watch it?
Not many places
That's
at this
what
point
we need
in time.
To do. Yeah.
So I'm glad you found it on Prime.
Yeah, no, it hit me. I looked it up, saw the poster, and saw the Prime at the bottom, and I was like, oh, that's right. And went to Prime, and there it was. It was all good. I will say though, I had to search for it on Prime. It didn't pop up on like my For You or Amazon Original.
So don't tell Amazon, but I use my brother's Prime account, so it definitely did not pop up for him. He's not a superhero, Batman specifically fan. So yeah, I had to go look for it, but I found it relatively easily.
I don't think I watch enough Prime Video for it to know my likes and interests.
I think for me, it's like The Boys and Gen V is about all that I'm watching on there.
I haven't started Gen V yet, but yeah. Nope, The Boys, of course, The Tick, when The Tick aired. So I have watched some.
It may be one of the worst streaming services, period. User interface and content combined.
Oh, the user interface is horrible.
Yeah, it's not good. Neither here nor there, I suppose.
Yeah, we're not going to
I digress. Please keep sending around packages in 2 days.
So here we are, and for those of you not familiar, Merry Little Batman, an animated hour and 30-minute, I think it's 97 minutes officially runtime.
I think you only get like an hour and 20 minutes of actual movie.
Possibly.
There's not,
Because there's so many production logos at the beginning.
Yes. Yes.
And then, of course, it's animated, so it's always got a much longer...
the credits at the end. So, hour 20-ish.
Yeah. And it's animated.
Look, I'm gonna jump the shark here, and I do this quite often. It's bad, dude. It's bad.
So I will say I found a connection. So it's directed by Mike Roth, who I found out is one of the creative writers. Like he was the big head writer or something for season 1 of Regular Show. And as soon as I heard
that makes a lot of sense.
I was like, okay. That because when Bethany watched it with me, and as we were watching it, we're like, this is very much like Cartoon Network, Ed, and Eddie, regular show, Chowder.
Look,
like
Jordan, my wife, for those that don't are listening for the first time, Jordan walked into the living room and saw me watching this and goes, "Is this a Batman episode of Fairly Odd Parents?" Like that's what she thought I was watching, was Fairly Odd Parents with Batman in it. And I guess I could see some of that. Alfred's face reminds me of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy from SpongeBob.
That is very true. Yes.
And
where
so
his head is a little lower than
and it's got like the nose thing going on. Yeah. I was Laramie, I was not a fan. We can get into why as we go through this. It was not okay, so it is meant for kids. There's animation that's meant for adults. There's animation that's meant for kids. This is
everything
meant
about
for
this
kids.
is a kids movie.
Every single thing. That setting that aside, because I'm still the guy, Laramie. I wake up on Saturday morning, pour a bowl of cereal, and pop in the old Scooby-Doo DVDs. Like the original Scooby. Like I love some kids cartoons. This is unenjoyable for me. I can't say it enough. So, anyways, we'll get into why. You go on ahead with the intros of the characters here.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about maybe the why. So
okay.
This movie was written by Morgan Evans and Jace Ritchie. Morgan Evans is a writer on Teen Titans Go.
He needs to Teen Titans Go away then.
And he is also a fan of the movie Batman and Robin.
You know what? Let's just cut. We're done. We're done with this episode. There's not much else needs to be said. Everyone who hasn't seen it has just found out everything they need to know about whether to watch it.
That explains why Poison Ivy, Bane, and Mr. Freeze clearly a
Arnold Schwarzenegger ripoff. Oh my gosh, It makes so much sense now.
Yep.
I had no clue. The only thing I knew, Laramie, is that music is by Patrick Stump, who is the lead singer of Fall Out Boy. So that was cool.
Soundtrack is awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. It even included
I really enjoy the soundtrack.
Even included the song from my new favorite commercial, the llamas with the Mamacita. Have you seen that one yet?
Yeah,
that's good. So yeah,
yeah. I was familiar with the song before.
Yeah, I was too. But it's in one of my favorite commercials right now. So
Donde está Santa Claus?
Yeah, Donde está Santa Claus. Outside of the music, yeah, but good for Patrick Stump. Good for him. I'm a big Fall Out Boy fan. So good for him.
Yeah. Yeah. Completely off topic here. There's also the new Christmas movie, Family Switch on Netflix.
Yeah, I can't even bring myself to turn that on.
That's fine. But you led me to this. In the movie, Ed Helms, who plays the dad, is in a band. His band is Weezer. Like
Ed Helms is
all four members of Weezer is Ed Helms' band. They're called something else.
Is he the lead singer in this band?
Yes.
So he's essentially the lead singer of Weezer in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Weezer is his backup.
Okay. I mean, it's a long way from the Cornell acapella. Good for Ed Helms too. Yeah.
Yeah. So another classic band there.
Here Comes Treble. Sorry, that was the Cornell acapella from The Office. Yeah. Sorry. All right, go ahead.
I can't remember. We actually just recently watched Family Switch, but I can't remember the name of the band. But it was like something about dads.
There's another. I'm getting that one. And what's the one with Jason Biggs that's out right now? I keep getting that confused with Family Switch. It's another Christmas movie. Jason Biggs.
I have no
idea.
idea.
Brandy is in it too. I didn't know she was still acting.
Yes. We did see that. And it's got Heather Graham in it as well. I can't remember the name of it, but yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. More digression here. Anything to avoid talking about the movie.
All right. Let's go ahead and jump into the characters. If it centers around Damian Wayne, he is the quote unquote little Batman, voiced by, and I apologize if I mispronounced this, Jonas Kabrib, who is fairly new to the acting world. He's got some bit parts here and there. He is on Sweet Tooth, so he's got another DC comic connection.
Okay.
He plays Finn Fox in, I think, season 2. I don't think he was in season 1.
Okay.
I actually found out a lot of the people in this have had previous connections to superhero stuff, which makes sense.
Curious to hear.
But of course, this take on Damian Wayne goes completely. Now you know a lot more than I do about Batman comics.
Okay, fair.
Correct me if I'm wrong. At this age, Damian Wayne would be training to be an assassin.
Yeah, he'd still be training with the League of Shadows at this point.
He would still be with his mom.
Right.
Yes. This version of Damian, where he is essentially just an innocent little child, never exists in the comics.
Not that I'm aware of. Maybe in some timeline that I haven't read about, but especially in the main continuity, Damian Wayne has been, currently is, and always will be a miniature assassin. You know, not someone who's running around Wayne Manor in a paper bag mask begging for the approval of his father. Doesn't happen. And that's part of what rubbed me the wrong way right from the jump.
Again, it's for kids.
I know that it is, Laramie. I know that it is.
Towards the kids. This isn't the Damian Wayne that we see in other animated movies like, Batman versus Robin.
Mm-hmm.
Bad Blood and all those, but
it's great.
Yeah, very very interesting take. I'm not gonna complain though. The voice acting is good.
The voice acting was good. Got no problem there.
No, he does a good job. So do many of the other voice actors in here. Moving on, Bruce Wayne, Batman himself, is voiced by Luke Wilson. I got nothing against Luke Wilson, but who thought Luke Wilson for Batman?
Wasn't Batman. Wasn't Bruce Wayne either. He did fine. It wasn't either of those characters.
Yeah. I do appreciate that he didn't try to do a Batman voice.
No, agreed. I
do appreciate that. Of course, his previous connection with comic book stuff is, those of you who don't know, he's Stripe on Stargirl. And it's a much better fit for him because he is playing the stepdad.
Yeah. As opposed to this, like I said, this iteration of Bruce Wayne and Batman. His again, I envision my Bruce Wayne and my Batman as a voice with you're the musically inclined. Is deeper baritone, a little more baritone.
Yes.
In his
yeah. I also there was, and I get this movie was for kids, but Batman should have a little bit more weariness in his voice.
Yeah, worn down. He has absolved Gotham City of crime altogether. It had to have taken a lot to do that. There should be some tired tenor in that voice along with the baritone.
Now, this Batman, Luke Wilson's Batman, is very upbeat.
Chipper, even.
Chipper, yes. Chipper's a good word.
Yeah.
I like chipper.
Yeah, it was too much. I was not okay with it.
Let's move on to the Turtle Man, Alfred Pennyworth.
Oh, Jimmy James,
voiced by James Cromwell, who again, I was loving finding these connections. Of course, previously had been a voice in another comic book related thing. He was Robert Callahan in Big Hero 6. But here we go, James Cromwell, who I'm not against him playing Alfred. But this was an interesting take on Alfred.
It was a take on Alfred. I'm not even going to say it was interesting. It was a take on Alfred. Alfred, in any movie, any comic book, any TV show, is wise to the world and to what's going on. His ears to the street, as the kids might say. Yeah. And here he is Mr. Magoo.
Yeah. The biggest thing was when he finally finds Damian, and there's this big moment, and then Damian just turns around and Alfred just keeps walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk the worst caretaker in the world. For those of you that haven't watched yet, Damian goes on this rampage of destroying Gotham City on accident. And then Alfred finds him. First of all, Alfred finds him, okay? And it's not like, hey, are you okay? He goes, here's some hot chocolate.
Yeah.
That chocolate's like, here, nothing hot chocolate can't fix.
Have you forgot? I went out to get marshmallows for your hot chocolate.
Let me tell you what hot chocolate can't fix. Internal organ bleeding, which is clearly what Damian has this point in time.
Yeah. There's one point where Damian falls and just hits all of these metal ledges.
Just everyone.
On his way down. Everyone. And you're like, this is It's an 8-year-old kid.
But so Alfred finds him, gets him, starts to walk him back to the car, and as they're doing so, just completely ignores that Damien turns around and leaves again.
Yeah, there's the Joker sends a balloon that distracts Damien.
Which, I mean, fair point. I get distracted by balloons too. That's not anything to begrudge Damien of. But the
fact that
Alfred's got to do a better job
all the way down the street,
all the way to the car, apparently, like gets in, assumably drives off without him.
Yeah. Oh, and we haven't. I don't think we've also indicated the fact that they portray Alfred as if he's got to be like 120 years old.
3 billion. Methuselah is in his dating range at this point in time. He is ancient.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they eat
again.
Sorry,
James Cromwell does a great job.
Does a great job voice acting. And did you have any hankering for congealed eel after watching this?
No, and see, that's the other thing with this type of animation. When they throw stuff like that in there, it's like every type of this,
just like
type of animation.
Gag animation. Yeah, like why did we need that?
They've got to have the little gross out moment.
Even if I'm a kid, I'm like, what was the point of that?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
really
either.
don't.
I don't either.
I don't get it.
This is more like the irregular show than anything. I did not enjoy. Again,
all right.
You're going to hear me say that a lot, everyone. I did not enjoy it.
Moving on to probably the only other big character from this, and that's the Joker, voiced by David Hornsby, who as soon as I see the name, this is really random, but I remember him as Hutch on the Joe Schmo Show.
So I've never watched the Joe Schmo Show.
Yeah, he was the actor that was brought in to kind of be kind of the jerk on the Joe Schmo Show. I just remembered him from that season. But I found out he's got another comic book connection. He's the Riddler on DC Superhero Girls.
Oh, okay. All right. That voice does sound familiar now. All right. Your thoughts on his Joker voice?
Again, it fit for this movie.
Sure. I guess I'll give you that. Yeah. It was not anything memorable or worth writing home about, and that's not even comparing it to Mark Hamill. Like I'm setting Mark Hamill aside completely, as he has recently stated that he will never again be the Joker without Kevin Conroy.
Without Kevin,
yeah, he says he's done. So we have to let that go, and that's fine. I hope David Hornsby has a wonderful and prosperous life and career. May he never set foot in an animation voice recording studio again to do the Joker.
Yeah, but here's the thing. We talked about this earlier, but I don't think we didn't specifically mention this might be a quote unquote backdoor pilot for a Bat Family animated series.
I will stand outside of Burbank every day protesting if that occurs. If I get this as opposed to a reboot of the animated series, Laramie, I don't know. I don't know if I can take that.
I don't know.
I don't want it.
So
I don't want
it. Well, so let's go ahead and I want to talk about this. I sent you a video clip.
Okay. Let's talk about this video clip, Laramie.
To prepare.
Let's talk.
So in the 70s, I don't know the exact year, but they made a movie off of the stage production of The Little Prince. For those of you not familiar with it, it's just this, it's a classic story, and it's just this fantasy story of this little boy that travels to all these different planets. And in one of his journeys, he encounters the character is called the Snake. And in the movie, the Snake is played by legendary choreographer Bob Fosse. I sent Blake a clip of just a moment of Bob Fosse with the Little Prince here.
7.5 minutes.
Yeah. But I wanted him to get an idea of what this performance was like, because according to what I read,
oh no,
that was the inspiration for this Joker.
Jesus. Yeah, now that you said, I kind of felt like that's where you're going as I was watching that clip of Bob Fosse, as the French would pronounce it. But
they wouldn't, but go ahead.
Oh, sorry. But he, That's what it seemed like it should have an accent on top of it. The movements were super similar. The way the character, I guess, enunciated some things, explained, like it was very similar. I could certainly see that and kind of figured that's where this was going.
But also being very childish.
Yeah, and so I was going. My next thing was going to be his personality was very immature, just like childish. I guess is a better way to explain it. I wish they hadn't gone that route, but I can't change the past.
Yeah, it works for the fact
it's a kids movie.
Not just, but that they're making Damian the quote unquote Batman for this story.
Yeah.
So this is a Joker that matches with an 8-year-old kid.
Sure.
But then when you bring Bruce Wayne back in and they have that dynamic, it doesn't work.
Yeah, he's still being the same childish Joker. And you're like, why are we... Your arch nemesis has returned. It's time to go back into Joker, like real Joker mode.
Which, I mean, we'll talk about the other kind of side characters, the other villains that show up in a minute. Well, you know what? I'll just go ahead and knock them out. And then
knock them out. Do it.
So we get Mr. Freeze, voiced by Dolph Adamane. Again, apologize for mispronouncing that. I couldn't find anything else he had done.
Yeah, he probably won't again after this.
He was clearly hired to do a bad Arnold Schwarzenegger impression.
Yeah.
Then we got the Penguin. Surprised me to find out he was voiced by Brian George, who was Raj's dad on The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
He's also, I mean, he was Ra's al Ghul in Under the Red Hood. He's Gorilla Grodd in Public Enemies. He's Alfred in The Killing Joke, Batman vs. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Doom That Came to Gotham. And here he is playing the Penguin.
And so this may seem like
great character actor.
It may seem like a retcon now, but one of my favorite ones was the Penguin. Like the voice work of the Penguin, I probably enjoyed that character more than any other villains, for sure.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to hear.
That is, yes, pretty. I mean, some people may not know who I'm talking about, which is why I did want to mention he's Raj's dad on The Big Bang Theory. That's probably where most people are going to be able to visualize it.
Place the face, yeah.
Yeah, and you've seen, I mean, he was famously on Seinfeld. Like, he's this great character actor. Which brings me to Chris Sullivan. Chris Sullivan, the guy who played Toby on This Is Us. The guy who had a podcast with Michael Rosenbaum. He played, and speaking of Michael Rosenbaum, he played Taserface in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. This, again, semi-famous actor, is the voice of Bane.
Yeah.
If you were to say Bane has a voice.
Wait a minute, let me. That's not even deep enough.
It's not even that.
It's not even deep enough.
It's not even that clear either. Because it is nothing but growls.
It's like someone put rocks in his mouth and he just tried to talk.
I did get a kick, though, out of when Joker starts getting into his whole sympathetic thing towards the end and Bane says something. And Joker goes, yeah, you said that beautifully.
Yeah. Well put, Bane.
Well put, yeah.
That was good. There was a couple of like little parts that were good. I'm not saying the whole thing was awful. Overall, not great. But yeah, there was a couple of lines. I did like that Bane was in a knee brace, and I guess we'll get to that later. Like that they're all old. They're all old.
That's what. Yeah, that's what I was about to lead to. So then there's also Poison Ivy, voiced by Teresa McLaughlin. I don't know if it really is Teresa because it ends in an E.
Right, so Therese.
Therese. But yeah, I was curious about that.
Yeah.
They made everybody except, I guess, the Joker. But they made Penguin. I mean, Penguin's riding around on a
hover round. Yeah, he is ancient.
And then Poison Ivy has just white hair.
Bane has got varicose veins.
Yeah. And like you said, he's in the brace.
Yeah, so I thought those are a couple of cool little nods. Like, to make them older was fun. I would assume since the Joker fell into Ace Chemicals 800 times, he doesn't age anymore. And completely off topic, we keep talking about it's a kids movie. We watched two people die, Laramie. he threw the 2 henchmen in the vat of Ace Chemicals, and they did not come back out.
Yeah, I think we're to assume, though, based off of the other parts of where he talks about how many times Joker's been thrown in there, and all the other villains are in there at the end, too.
Yeah, we see them again, but we don't ever see. And then the dream sequence where Alfred falls into the burning flames and told Damian, I'll see you in the promised land.
There's where you're talking about seeing people die. There's that one guy that yells at Damian and then hops into the car, and then the car immediately
explodes.
Flies up and explodes. So, and then there's what was it, an ambulance or a fire truck that does it too?
A fire truck did it too. Yeah,
it goes right up a ramp and just into...
Yeah, so like we're talking about a kids movie, but people are clearly dying in this movie. Death is abundant. Sorry, I digress.
No, you're fine.
The Penguin was good. The voice acting was good. I enjoyed the Penguin. Bane, there wasn't much to enjoy. Poison Ivy was... How can I put this? Almost all the voice acting was lackluster. That's as best as I can put it.
Yeah.
It was okay. It was fine.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything that really made me want to see more of a character.
No. Well, there wasn't much in terms of character in any.
Agreed. But typically we talk about there's someone you'd like to see more of. There wasn't really anybody I'd care to see more of.
I assume that this is what age would these villains be at if the television show Gotham was the storyline we were following?
Why is Bruce not old?
That's why I'm saying it's following the Gotham storyline of where Bruce was 12.
Yeah.
But all the villains were already
full-grown adults. Are their mid-40s?
Yeah.
Pension plans and everything, and Bruce is still trying to make his way through grade school.
One other character I wanted to mention, Commissioner Gordon. He's got one quick little moment, which I will say is hilarious.
It's great. It is good.
But I found out he is voiced by Reed Scott. Now, not only is Reed Scott the voice of Jonathan Kent on the new My Adventures with Superman that is on HBO Max, but he's Dan in the Venom movies. He's Michelle Williams' fiance. Yeah.
No. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. And he's Commissioner Gordon, which again, that scene where he's just building a gingerbread house.
He's like, don't worry, I've handled situations worse than this before.
Yeah, opens the window, there's just chaos, puts it down, he goes,
the city is burning.
I got this.
And flips the bat signal switch.
And then goes right back to his gingerbread house.
And
I love having a bat signal.
The reaction of the police officer is even better because he goes from terror to oh, okay, cool, we're good. The bat signal's out.
We're good. But then the citizens of Gotham go, oh no, it's the bat signal.
Yeah, crime
is back.
It's back in Gotham.
And it goes into more chaos.
Which leads into a great existential question. Does crime only exist because Batman exists? If it wasn't the case, if Batman wasn't, around, would crime be around also? This movie seems to say if Batman goes away, crime goes away.
Yeah, so let's get into that, but I have to ask, because it's part of the show. So of the characters, who do you want to see again, and who do you wish would get their utility belt stolen?
That's pretty good. I would love to see just about any and all of the villains get their utility belt stolen. I just was not feeling it. It wasn't doing it. I'm glad you brought him up because I want a prequel on Commissioner Gordon and his life.
I want more Commissioner Gordon.
His life now that there is no crime in Gotham. I want to know what he's doing with his time.
What's up, dudes? I'm Jerry D of Totally Rad Christmas, the podcast that talks all things Christmas in the 80s. Toys, movies, specials, music, books, fashion, and fads.
If it was gnarly during Christmas in the 80s, he's got it covered. Wait, is there a lot of things to talk about for the 80s and Christmas?
Well, you got the movie giants like Christmas Vacation, Scrooged, and A Christmas Story. There are TV specials like Muppet Family Christmas, Claymation Christmas Celebration, and a Garfield Christmas special.
Plus classics shown every year.
You also jam out to Last Christmas, Do They Know It's Christmas, and Christmas in Hollis. But most of all, it was a time for the most bodacious, best-selling Christmas toys ever, like He-Man, G.I. Joe, Transformers,
and Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yes, them too. We cover them all, plus much more, including standard segments like Hap Happiest Memory, Gag Me with the Spoon, The Other Half of the Battle,
And Chant with the Littles.
So tune in to Totally Rad Christmas everywhere you get your podcasts. Turn the clock back and dive into those warm and fuzzy memories.
Later, dudes.
All right, so let's get in. We're not going to call this moving panels. There's nothing. There's
no panel. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
So we're just gonna talk about the movie, and let's start where we were ending, with the fact that Batman, according to this movie, when he found out that he was going to be a father, decided to just rid Gotham of crime. How did he do that with the Joker, the Penguin, Bane, Poison Ivy, and Mr. Freeze still on the loose?
Still on the loose.
With the fact that Arkham Asylum is turned into a daycare.
Now, if you remember...
So where did all the other villains go?
So I don't know where everybody else went, but at the beginning of the movie, I think, and then the Joker even mentions it, they were like, quote unquote, forced into retirement. So how? Yeah, how? How are you forcing... it's a kid's movie. There are going to be plot holes. I get it. Just, you knew adults were going to watch this too. And you're talking about a guy who has got some credentials as far as adult animation goes. Why was there no follow through on making sure that some of these small things weren't buttoned up? Like, again, Bruce's age. Why are these villains still on the loose if he was, done with crime, if he did away with all the crime in Gotham? Perhaps reading way too much into it, but it was bothersome and in parts tough for me to watch this because of that.
Yeah. I mean, we see him capture Scarecrow and Riddler in the little montage.
I wish Scarecrow would have been part of the crew, to be honest with you. I would have loved to have seen this
But he wasn't in Batman and Robin, and that's...
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
My bad. That piece of cinematic history.
Look, the guy also had to be a fan of Batman Returns, because not only do you have the Penguin, but you have the Penguins with the rockets.
Yeah, with the rockets on it.
Back.
That was a pretty cool call. There's a couple of cool callbacks and a couple of Easter eggs hidden there. I love that the cat is named Selena. That was a cool little thing.
But if you think about it, is Damian aware that his pet cat is named after his dad's old girlfriend?
I don't know. One day he'll know. One day he will, but right now he doesn't. And so let's talk about Bruce Wayne's love life here. So obviously Talia is the mother of Damian.
Yes.
Would it not have been...
she's only briefly mentioned about the fact that she's a supervillain. Would it not have been
much more interesting to have had her trying to ruin Christmas and have Damian be like the supervillain son she's always wanted, as opposed to the Joker? Could have still done a kids movie. Could have had the same plot. You just could have had a little more family dynamic.
I kind of see where you're going, but I think that would create a problem with the fact that the underlying theme of this entire movie is family. Because not only is it the relationship between Damian and Bruce, but then the Joker even brings up that he loves committing crime with his friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so if you had Talia as the villain, that puts a kind of a wrench in the whole...
But what if, at the end, she recognized, whole Grinch thing, she recognized the errors of her ways, she returns everything, and then Bruce, and Damian are celebrating Christmas morning in Wayne Manor together. And you wrap it all up, and there's...
They probably could have found some way to do it.
I
did find it interesting that there's no mention of her until the end.
Right at the end.
When it said, Mom's a supervillain too, and he's like, well, that's complicated.
It's complicated. Your grandfather's been reborn in a Lazarus pit 100 times also, which is complicated.
But that reference only works for people like us.
Yeah, nobody else gets that.
The little kid watching this has no idea who his mom is.
Little kid's gonna think Poison Ivy's his mom. That's the only other female that's been in the movie.
Yeah.
Vicky Vale did make an appearance. I don't know if you saw the name of the news reporter.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I did.
Which is Batman Returns kind of thing there too. Or Batman.
Well, no, that was the first Batman.
Yeah, Batman.
Batman 89.
Yeah, just Batman.
Although Vicky Vale's from the comics.
Also, yeah, I know, but
But yeah, I will say, we've been talking about all the supervillain stuff. Let's talk about the actual Home Alone aspect of the first part of the movie.
Yep.
So Bruce is called back into action. He's apparently not been Batman, I guess you would assume, for 8 years.
At least 8 years, yeah.
Damien's been born. But he gets called back into action from supposedly the Justice League.
A weather anomaly.
Yes. And he leaves. Then, due to a series of unfortunate events, a couple of thieves end up at Wayne Manor, and Damien ends up having to battle these thieves. If they had made that more of the movie, I think I would have enjoyed this movie a little.
Maybe so. Yeah, that was a fairly enjoyable portion of the movie. Seeing him, prowling around Wayne Manor, hidden bookcases,
using the gadgets and all that's hidden inside of Wayne Manor.
That was pretty cool. Even to have the burglars somehow get into the Batcave and Damien playing down there with them and using the things that are at his disposal down there. That could have been very interesting. Yeah, it might not have saved it completely, but it'd have been more watchable than what it was.
Yeah, I think if they had done more of a Home Alone aspect to it, I do think it would have been more enjoyable. Once he went out and became Little Batman, which, let me ask you about this. What were your thoughts on the Tony Stark giving Spider-Man a suit?
Yeah, the Bat Dad suit. It wasn't awful. Again, I'm trying to... It's a kid's movie. It served its purpose as far as what it was supposed to do, which is provide Damien with that father figure while his dad's away, because it's supposed to be dead before he gets the bat suit. But
I will say that was pretty funny.
Yeah,
He's like, if you found this suit, it means I'm dead.
Yeah. Later on,
or it means you snuck in and stole it.
Well, and then later on, the suit's like, I'm alive. I was like, yeah, sorry, I forgot to tell you that you're still alive. So no, it wasn't terrible. It was kind of cool in certain parts. A very touching moment where the Bat Dad suit gives up his quote unquote life to save Damien falling out of the sky.
Thank you for giving me a memory of my own.
Yeah, warm memories of my own. How does he know what warmth is? It's AI. Okay?
I don't know.
Everyone should be scared.
I also don't think we got enough development to... I'm just going to say it, to give a crap.
No, I didn't. I'm trying. Yeah. I'm trying, Laramie. Okay? I'm trying here. No, there was not enough development in any character to warrant any type of emotional response or anything that happened.
Okay, so there is one line that really, I think, strung that emotional chord. And it is when Alfred tells Damien, your father is trying to give you the one thing he never had.
A childhood.
A childhood.
Okay.
And I just go, dang. Like that. That's
okay.
a line.
Yeah, that was good. Okay. I can...
that was a line.
I can see that being good. The conversation he has with Bat Dad about growing up without parents was also a little tuggy at your heartstrings. But that line from Alfred, and I guess that's, if nothing else, you can count on Alfred for just that nugget of just some perspective.
But then cannot count on him to watch
a child. He's 1,000 years old, Laramie. Of course you can't count on him. He's got wisdom because he invented wisdom. He was around when wisdom was started. That's why. Not to watch children.
And does not even hear the bat cycle go by.
Listen, his face will give you nightmare. Do not watch this movie at nighttime, okay? Alfred's face is horrifying.
Man, this may age me a little bit more, but there were aspects of this which Alfred was part of it that made me think back to the old Ren and Stimpy comic.
Oh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Stimpy.
Yeah. The some of the animation they would use in Ren and Stimpy.
That really is.
Yeah.
That's a good call. I didn't even think about that while I was watching it, but that is 100%. 100% Ren and Stimpy.
Oh.
Good catch.
Yeah. What did you think about some of the let's call them action scenes? What do you think about some of the action scenes?
Bland. I don't. Again, I'm trying. I really am. I promise. I'm trying not to just absolutely rip this thing apart. I'm trying to find some good nuggets. The Home Alone quote-esque scenes were good.
Like when he has them swinging around on the fan.
Around the fan. Outside of those scenes, though, I don't know that there was anything that, again, nothing really stands out. This is as forgettable an animated movie as I could possibly conjure up, with very little to call back to as far as things that would make you want to go back and rewatch it. The action scenes in the manor are good. You're right. He gets out into the world, and it is so ludicrous, the things that are going on, that it's not enjoyable.
No.
Even the parade scenes where it's like, oh, he's like bouncing on the balloons. Like, that would be a cool thing if it were Batman doing it, not a
and
toddler.
See, that was another thing. There's so much that Damian is able to do.
How? He hasn't even been training with the League of Shadows.
Yes.
How?
When he's had absolutely no training. Bruce clearly has not wanted to train him yet. But even at the end, when Batman gets knocked out by the Joker's mallet, but then he hazily watches Damian start taking everybody out
with his hands. He stops Bane's punch with just like holding his hands up. Damian does.
8-year-old.
There's a small child out there who has watched this that now thinks it is actually possible to be Batman with little to no training. And I'm here to tell you, it is not. I have tried, and it is not possible.
Yeah, however, this Damian, like, as we've already said, apparently has some sort of superpower where he is indestructible.
Yeah. That's the only explanation. Like, I need a sequel or, again, a prequel to explain that he's clearly been dunked in baptized in the fires of the Lazarus pit, and just has these powers to withstand absolute mutilation to his body.
Yeah, I mean, everything. I mean, even when the Bat Dad suit saves him, I'm like,
how?
You have just fallen a good 5,000 feet
from the outer reaches of the atmosphere. Okay,
and
the stratosphere,
and just the suit inflating.
Just a balloon. Yeah. A balloon saved you.
Like, I was expecting some sort of armor, wings or something, or
a armadillo ball, anything. It's tough.
I gotta ask you, what were your thoughts on the look of this Batmobile?
That thing. What can I compare it to? It's like if a rat rod took steroids, is what it looks like.
It looked like something out of Mad
Max. Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
With the just unnecessary exhaust pointing straight up.
Spikes, exhaust, metal everywhere. I half expected Damian to take out the chrome spray paint at one point in time, just hit himself in the teeth with it. I don't know.
Yeah. And I don't know how they expected us to believe he was driving that thing, considering the size difference.
Well, then, like, he lost the bat pod, too. Who's just letting him take the bat pod out?
Yeah. I will say that was a funny moment, too, when
you lost
tells Alfred that he lost it. And Alfred just continues his conversation, and then it hits him. Wait, you lost the bat
pod? Oh, never mind.
All right. Look, I think we've bashed this enough. Let's go ahead and get into final decision. Back. You know what? Well, let's not even. Stack it or trade it. That's what we'll call this one.
Yeah.
Stack it or trade it. Go ahead, Blake. What say you?
I think I mentioned earlier, Laramie, and when you brought it up, that this is a possible pilot for something. I would love nothing more than to trade this so hard and so fast for, again, a reboot of the Bruce Timm verse. Just give me that. We all want it. We need it. I know you got to do stuff for the kids every now and then. Send that to DVD and make the parents pay for it. I shouldn't have to pay for it by watching it. Okay? Send it to DVD. I don't want to see it anymore. I'm sorry for those involved. I really hope that your careers continue forward. I will not be partaking in anything that you do henceforth. Trade it.
Wow. So I'm going to say...
Don't you do it. Do not do it.
Listen, I'm going to say for the target audience...
Oh, no.
This is a stack it.
Oh no.
It is worth a watch. I would say this is worth a watch. It is not worth repeated viewing.
So hold on. Okay. So okay. Let me while you mill this. You're coming at this from the aspect of a parent, perhaps? Like you have two kids. Like you would watch this with your kids.
Yes.
Okay. So
yes.
that could be the difference for those that don't know.
Yes.
I have no kids, and so that could very well be okay. I can respect that at this point in time. Then with that information.
So yeah, that's my
Okay.
thing. Now, if you're like us though, where you are a comic book fan, you're probably not going to enjoy
It's
it.
blasphemous. It is.
But if you're just the ho hum, parent who is not the big comic book aficionado, as knowledgeable,
Yeah.
isn't in love with the Batman animated series and all that from childhood, again, you'll be fine watching it once.
Yeah, your kids will laugh, and you will laugh because your kids are enjoying it. Like
Yes.
I can see that.
And your kids may find repeat viewing of it. I mean,
Sure.
that's what kids do.
Yep.
They find something they like and they just watch it over and over again.
Terrifying.
I could see that. No, from if I were rating this, it would be a trade it. But I am going to look at it from the target audience, and I am going to say it is a stack it.
Through the eyes of a child.
Yeah. Or the eyes of a parent of a child.
Okay, yeah, that's again. I can understand that at this point
I'm not-
in time.
I'm not going to tell parents that no, your child should not watch this.
Yeah, that's fair and valid. I'll step off of that one.
All right, so we'll wrap things up here. We are a week from Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas is next week, and we will still have an episode released on Christmas Day. I have a episode. It of course will be a one shot, but I have an episode where we will talk about Santa Claus being a mutant in the Marvel Universe.
Cannot wait. First of all, absolutely cannot wait.
And I have a brand new co-host, Jerry D from Totally Rad Christmas Podcast, will be joining me to discuss that one. So look forward to that. We'll try to keep that one short since it will be Christmas Day, but I've been very excited to discuss Santa Claus as an Omega level mutant
So
in the
good.
Marvel Universe. But we'll go ahead and wrap things up here. Since we are a week away, I'll go ahead and wish Blake a happy Christmas.
To you too, Laramie.
And same thing to everybody listening. If you don't get to listen to us on Christmas Day, we hope you listen to us right after and still enjoy that episode. But we'll go ahead and wrap things up for this one. Again, watch it.
Sure.
Yeah, watch it.
If you have to step away to the
if you got
bathroom,
kids.
that's fine. You're not gonna miss
Yeah.
much.
No, put it on in the background.
There you go.
Watch it while you're wrapping presents.
That's perfectly fine. That may be okay. Yeah.
Yeah, watch it while you're maybe making your Christmas dinner.
Some hot cocoa with extra marshmallows and some
Yes,
congealed
you gotta have
eel.
those extra marshmallows. Dear Lord, Damien developed type 2 diabetes
in one
with that scene.
Yeah, the amount of marshmallows in his mouth was impressive. Not gonna lie to you.
Ultimate chubby bunny winner
Yes,
right
absolutely. Jeez,
there.
whatever.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Rate and review the show. We'll go ahead and wrap things up. For today, for Moving Panels, I'm Laramie Weld, and I'll see you on the other side of the page.
Ho, 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 ho!